Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today we're going to talk about so much of it is unnecessary. And by that, I mean the unnecessary chatter that goes on in our heads. We're always thinking. We need to do this. We need to change that. We should take care of this. Somebody said this or did this or whatever the situation is. But to be honest with you, most of that dialogue is not necessary. I know sometimes we feel like we need to take control of something in order for it to work out or be the way we want it to. But the reality is, if we just walk in faith, walk in trust, everything works out the way it's supposed to. And now, with that being said, if you get a strong urge to do certain things, to take certain steps, to do something, then yes, you do need to do your part. But that idle chit-chat, no, we don't need it at all. In fact, I'm going to share with you something that happened to me a couple weeks ago. Is that I, just like you, have been practicing a lot of this stuff, trying to make life easier, trying to be my best self, live my best life. And I was lying in bed where normally that's when my thoughts really start going. But there was nothing there. And it was such a weird feeling. I almost felt like I needed to make some sort of chatter to feel normal. And so as we go through this process of bettering who we are, living our best life, being our best selves, some of this stuff will feel foreign in the beginning. So when I was lying there and I felt like I didn't have any thoughts at all, I felt like I needed to make thoughts. However, then I realized, no, I don't. This is what I'm striving for. It reminds me of one time I let this girl live with me that had an alcohol problem. And I thought, oh, I'm going to fix her. I'll help her. I will make her life full of sunshine and butterflies. So in doing that, when her life became peaceful here without the drama, she felt funny. It wasn't her normal. So she went out and created drama. Now that's where we draw the line. We don't want to create the drama. We don't want to create the idle chit-chat in our heads. But she did. And so I think it's when you're making a change that's different from who you have been all this time, whether it be right, wrong, good, bad, just indifferent, that it almost feels funny when you change. But when you look at it and realize it's a change for the better, or if you made a vision board, look at your vision board and think, wow, it's happening. I'm really becoming that person. It is truly exciting. And as we approach the new year and these things come to flourish for you, it is so exciting to think that you're going to enter 2025 as a new person. And just like I said previously, life doesn't have to be so hard. It's really quite interesting how the less we think about things, the less control we think we need to have, the easier it is and the better it works out. I don't know why we associate working so hard would somehow make things better. I mean, you would think it would, and you can't be lazy about things. But in terms of something that's idle, like unnecessary thoughts, or spinning your wheels, or stressing yourself, all that is not only a waste of energy, but you don't need it. You can become more creative, more successful, live your best life, be happier without all that stuff weighing you down. And that is the stuff that is unnecessary. And when we realize that and we start to live our best life, we realize what is unnecessary. And as time goes on, you're going to feel that you don't have that idle chit-chat. that you don't have that stress, you don't have that worry. And that, my friend, is the best way to live. And that's when good things happen because you're open to it. You're open to the universe. You're open to God. You're open to everything. You're open to good things coming your way. You aren't tense and closed off and shutting things out because so often we shut things out either just in the way we're thinking or even physically. If you look at someone who's really stressed, their arms are drawn to their body. They're closing out the world. So the goal is, and the steps we're taking, is to walk step by step into freedom, stress-free, happy, not worrying, dropping all that behind you, and just living. And that also opens a door to you enjoying your life. I have a friend, one thing I always have admired about her, no matter where we go, what we do, she gets excited. It's almost childlike. She's in awe over certain things, and everything interests her. And I gotta admit, I really admire her zest for life. What a wonderful way to be. Instead of being somewhere and being in your own head, that you are fully present, fully there, and getting excited about what is going on around you. Even sometimes when we're going to meet somebody, whether it be a new friend, old friend, lunch date, new employer, job interview, whatever, we preconceive how our meeting is going to be, and sometimes it's not always positive. But if you can empty out your head and just take it for what it is moment by moment, it becomes spontaneous. Your conversation becomes spontaneous. And you become more likable because the real you, the humorous you, the intelligent you really gets to flow. Because when you predetermine how things are going to be, then you close yourself off. Another example, I hired a new caregiver recently. Before she came over, I have a bit of an ego about that. However, so I started thinking about what is she going to think? What is going to happen? What is it going to be like? And then I thought again, and I thought, this isn't about her. This is about me. I'm looking at this woman to help me with certain things. And when I looked at it that way, I was able to stay present, to stay focused. And so when she did come, it was even better than I anticipated. The conversation just flowed. We got along well. She was very nonchalant about it, so everything went better. But before she got here, I started putting it in my head what our meeting was going to be like. And as usual, it was nothing like that. But fortunately, before she got here, I was able to tell myself, it's about me, not about her. So when you're going to a job interview, a date, or friends for lunch, whatever, don't worry about what they're going to think, because think about it, it's about you. And putting you first is not selfish. You need to put you first. When I say it's about you, you don't need to think about what you're going to talk about, what you're going to act like. Just be in the moment, and 100% you will come across better than you ever imagined, because you're you, and you are a jewel inside. Your personality flows, your sense of humor flows, your intelligence flows. So don't keep all that bottled up with thoughts that stress you, that make you clench and be uptight. Just open up. As I said, life doesn't have to be hard. The more you let go of it, the easier it is. And again, the opposite is true. In most things, you have to work hard. But in life, It's interesting that the more you let go, the easier it is. And don't get me wrong, I mean, when it is a situation where we need to work hard, I'm not by any means saying be lazy about things, because you do have to do your part. I'm talking about idle chit chat that is not good for us or anybody else. Anything that brings you stress is not good for you. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, letting go of. Always strive for being the authentic you. And the authentic you doesn't need to think about what they're going to say, what they're going to do, what the room is going to look like, what the person is going to look like. The authentic you just has a confidence about him and just knows that no matter what they say, no matter what they do, it's going to be the right thing. And it's going to be spontaneous, and the outcome will be just the way it's supposed to be. And that certainly takes a lot of pressure off, is when you know no matter what, that outcome is going to be just the way it is supposed to be. Sometimes what we determine as a favorable outcome isn't necessarily a favorable outcome. Sometimes it's just giving you the answer. And when you look at life in that way, it gets so much easier. It's not disappointments, it's not rejection. It's just navigating to what is the best direction for you, what is the best outcome for you. You don't want to have an imaginary situation. You can picture yourself having a conversation with someone, but it's not reality. And what we're striving for and what we can deal with as human beings is reality. That's the only thing that should matter, because it's the only thing that's real. And all of this goes for the people in your life as well. You can't expect people to act and do and say what you want them to. There are a lot of good people out there. The majority of people are good. But as you grow and as you gain confidence, you might find a slight change in who comes into your life. Don't shut out the opportunity to meet somebody new. We also should not predetermine who we want in our life and who we don't, because each person has a gift or a jewel inside of them. So when you let someone into your life, when you take time to get to know someone, you might find that they are just a wonderful human being that really adds to your life. We should not predetermine or prejudge how people are, because we just don't know, and it's exciting to let new people into our lives. For example, I, like everybody else, have my group of friends, etc., etc. But because of my health, it's forced me to open my doors even wider for people to come in and work for me or whatever. But consequently, through it, to my surprise, I have made friends through this, and I have met some really wonderful people. And I wouldn't have done it if I wasn't forced to open my doors in this area, because you never know what's out there. You never know what gift is right around the corner, whether it be in a person or an opportunity. And that's what makes life so exciting. And life should be exciting. I heard someone on TV, it was an interview, in fact, they were saying that they want joy, love, and there was something else, I can't remember what it was. You know, those are the simple things in life that we're all looking for. And I know sometimes when I'm with people who they're just kind of negative, kind of stuck in their way, it's okay, they are who they are. But it is so refreshing to be around someone who is on the same page as you, either spreads joy or is looking for joy. And that's what I'm saying about meeting new people. Don't prejudge, because you might be very pleasantly surprised in who you are getting to know, who you are letting into your life. People can bring you a whole new opportunity. One of the people that I'm talking about, for example, is someone who I hired to work for me. And if I met this person or saw her on the street, I probably wouldn't give it a second thought as to us being friends. But since we were thrown into a situation together, I noticed that we both laugh at the same things. We have gone on little outings that have been so fun. So as it turns out, I really, really like her and think of her as my friend now. And actually, she has become quite a big part of my life. Again, you just never know. That's the exciting thing about life, is you never know. You never know what's around the corner. You never know what's in the next person you meet. You never know what they may bring to the table. So get up, get excited about life. Keep working on things that you've been working on. And don't have those unnecessary thoughts chitter-chattering in your life. But just walk in faith. Just open up to the universe. Just know that everything's going to work out the way that it's supposed to work out. And when you're going to meet someone, don't preconceive the interaction with them, but let it flow, and your authentic self will come out. And when you can be your authentic self, when you can really be who you are, and that's who you are. It may have been disguised. It may have been hidden for most of your life, but your authentic self is the real person that everybody is going to love. And get excited about having your head clear enough to enjoy where you are, what you're looking at, what you're doing. Enjoy your life. With that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.